Hi, crafty friends. Irene here with Artemis Made, and thank you so much for spending time with me today. I really appreciate it. So, we are playing today with some elements from the not too shabby Cottage Rose Craft Retreat Kit. Now, the craft retreat is taking place this weekend, May 17th and 18th, with a kickoff party at 1 p.m. Central Time on Friday the 16th. The retreat is entirely free on YouTube, and if you'd like to pick up the kit, it is available on the Not Too Shabby site. Of course, you could use your own craft supplies, but this kit is adorable and absolutely worth having in anybody's stash. So I am playing today with the stamps and the stencil and a few other goodies. I was trying to be mindful of what I was using because I'm not sure what we have in store for us this weekend. I know it's going to be incredible. I just don't know which elements from the kit we're going to use. So if it's a consumable product like ephemera or pattern paper, I kind of wanted to be strategic about what I used. So I decided that I was going to harken back to the Not Too Shabby Fall Retreat, and I learned something there that I loved, and that's making my own pattern paper. Now, what I just showed you there is the monthly challenge, the mood board challenge from Not Too Shabby, and it's an awesome challenge that really inspires you and gets those creative juices going so that you can kind of make some really beautiful things based on the aesthetic of that month's challenge. So I am using the colors from the month's challenge to inform my color palette on this project. So again, I'm making my own pattern paper. Now, this class last year was amazing. It was held by the fabulously talented Carrie Rhodes, and I'll make sure to link her as well so you can go give her a subscribe. She's amazing. So she taught something in this class about making your own pattern paper using the stamps that come with the set and the stencil and a few other things. So I was so motivated and inspired by her class that this is something I have not forgotten since last year. I've done it several times since, and I truly enjoy it. So I used the chicken wire stencil here, and I used some Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink, and look at that gorgeous pattern. I love this stencil, and it blended beautifully. It adhered really well to my grip mat. It was great. So now I'm pulling from the stamp set. I wasn't sure at first what kind of pattern I wanted to do, but I decided that I was going to do kind of, I guess you could call it a monoprint sort of. I am just using this one stamp to make my entire page of pattern paper, and it is a little basket with eggs in it. So in order to get my stamp, I'm using the VersaFine Claire ink in pine cone, and it's because I wanted a deep color. I wanted something that would stamp clearly, but I didn't want black, so I wanted this really beautiful deep brown, and I think that's going to really match the color palette beautifully. So you're going to see here I start with stamping down my little basket of eggs, and it's so cute and it stamps just so well. So I'm just going to kind of stamp it across. I'm going to do 4 baskets on that first row, and then you're going to see in the row under that, I'm going to offset it so that every space in between these baskets on the second row will have another basket there. So it'll be 4 baskets and then 5 baskets and 4 and so on and so forth. So I'll speed it up just so that you kind of get the idea here. I'm stamping my baskets down. So I'm speeding it up here just to kind of get us through it. If you take a quick look right there, I know I cleaned it up pretty fast, but you could see on my glass board just how beautifully this stamped as well. Like, it's so crystal clear. I love these stamps. So I stamped it all the way down to the bottom edge there, and now I'm going back up and stamping on the top edge. One thing I should mention too, this pattern paper, or this paper basically, is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, and it's 110 pound paper, and I used, I cut it down to 5 3/4 inches. So instead of 6 by 6, I did 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And now I'm pulling out some Prismacolor pencils in rouge and olive green. And if you notice, I once again referred to this month's color inspiration because I am wanting to match the red and the green as close as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect, of course, but as close as I can do. So my green is a bit off there, but I figured it's like a yellowy green, but my olive green is close enough. So, and this is a pattern paper, so it's going to kind of be background. So I decided all I wanted to do was color in the lining of the basket, or the liner, if you will. So I just did every other one green and then every other one red. So basically the rouge and the olive green. And so this is a very subtle nod to the color palette, but I am still bringing in the colors from the monthly inspiration challenge. So I just, like I said, I went back and forth with the green and the red, and I'm speeding this up as well. I'm not being super precise about my color. I'm trying to stay in the lines, but if I don't color every little piece of it, it's okay, because we already put down that Tattered Rose ink, so it's going to have color regardless. So it's okay if I have, essentially white spots, it'll be okay. Now I'm bringing in a cream colored pencil, and this is very simple. I'm just giving a little bit of color here and there to some of my eggs. Maybe where you can see the chicken wire is leaving like some white spots. I was kind of going over that, but really it doesn't make that big of a difference. And I kind of like the vibe that those white areas were giving the eggs, because they look a little imperfect, which eggs are. So now the next step, and again, I'm using Carrie Rhodes' roadmap, you could say, for making your own pattern paper. I am using some Distress spritz because it's got a really pretty metallic-y, sparkly shine, and I believe this is antique linen, and I just started dabbing it and tapping it all over my paper. It's very easy to do, and it helps you kind of control where you want your splatter, spatter, whatever you want to call it. It kind of helps you control where it's going to go if you tap it with your finger. So you can see here, when I tilt it, all that shine really just pops right off the page. So now I'm pulling in a couple of die sets here. These are the Easy Wonder die sets number 1 and 2, along with add-ons number 1 and 2. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use, but I knew I wanted to use them. And here I just kind of gave a little nod to my friend Lynn, who is an amazing designer, and she actually created these dies for Not Too Shabby. So I was looking back and forth trying to decide which of these sets I wanted to use, and I decided to go with the Easy Wonder die number 2. So I'm not going to finish the full card here. I really wanted to show you how I did the pattern paper and say thank you again to Carrie for inspiring me and for teaching me something so valuable. I cannot wait to see what this weekend's retreat has in store that I will still be talking about in a year. I cannot wait. I know it's going to be phenomenal. So please, please, please join us if you've got some time, or if you don't, come back and watch the replay. I know it's going to be amazing, and I'm looking forward to just crafting and having fun and getting my inspiration on and seeing what amazing things we're going to make and what incredible things we'll learn. So right here are the pieces that I pulled from the Easy Wonder die number 2, and now I can show you the actual card. So this is the exclusive craft kit. Again, May 17th and 18th is when we are doing the classes, 7 different classes, and here is my finished card. I did the stamp here. I stamped this cute little lady. I used the Easy Wonder die set number 2, and I did an oval frame around her. I used the enamel dots from the kit. I stamped out the sentiment from the stamp set, and then I was okay kind of cutting up my pattern paper because I can always make more. So thank you so much, friends, for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this and learned something fun and new, maybe about the pattern paper and making your own. Do not be afraid to extend the life of your craft kits in all kinds of new and different ways. So thank you so much again for joining me. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you grab some paper and craft something that really makes you smile. I hope to see you this weekend. Thanks a lot, friends. Bye.